book entitled Smart and Get Things Done. All right, and we also have a Tumblr, Dan.
Yeah, we
You're
have
holding
a
it right now?
Tumblr here on my left hand. Just post your selfies and your photos with your friends. Newfound friend dapat dapat na-meet nyo dito sa event.
You found friend.
And we also have a Google shirt here. Just tweet us anything you'd like to say. Your ideas, what apps you want to engineer. It's a DevCon Monster shirt, sorry. We have there the Google shirts. So,
Alright.
while we are waiting for the others to get inside, Joey.
Yes, a little announcement also. If you have completed your cards already, please drop it on the box found here at the center. And except for those booths which are not available, we have Smart Globe and Deltec. So for those who have completed already, so you can drop it on this box right here.
So this is the one from Google
Yeah.
Developers Group.
Yes, that's right.
So just keep tweeting us, just keep posting your selfies and photos for a chance to win prizes. A few minutes later, Joey, we will have big prizes. And when I say big,
And I've heard Dan, it's really big, as
Yeah,
in big,
but-
big, big.
when I say big, it's really big.
Can I have a clue, Dan?
Dom, can we give them a overview
Clue,
siguro?
a clue, please. Basta one of our sponsor will give the prize.
Well-
Sabi nila yung, ano daw, yung natatouch.
Yung natatouch ba yan? I think may fruit.
At saka yung nakikita.
I think may fruit siya. Diba? May fruit.
Fruit?
Kinagatan. Parang ganun.
Orange?
Um,
Banana.
More?
More? Ah.
Sige pa. Try.
Ano pa ba?
Any fruit. Fruit salad.
Fruits? Fruit salad. Pwede. Basta
Anyway.
later, guys, you'll know.
Yup. Let's just read some tweets for a
Okay.
chance to win prizes.
So keep on tweeting, guys.
I'm going crazy
Alright.
watching you the way you dance.
So here's one tweet I'd like to read. Later on, we will be flashing your tweets on screen. Important learnings too on what's up new. More power to DevCon. Thank you very much, Tin Gonzaga, Evolve 34. And also, Tin Gonzaga also said this. Wow, enjoying it here at DevCon Summit 2013. Nice host. Well, thank you.
Trust.
Good speakers, of course, and great event. Woohoo! So that's Tin Gonzaga of Evolve 34. You have more tweets for me?
Oh, wait. Okay. Someone says here, the mobile phone is a great equalizer. It creates a lot of opportunities by Albert.
Right, so what's the name? So that we can record.
Albert.
Albert.
Abitoy_V20.
So guys, can you please note,
If
Jenny,
you want to
are
follow
we-
Dan, you have a Twitter account. Just kidding. So here, another.
I have here from Wildcats 1369, Mark Reformado. Aside from learning a lot, events like these is the best way to know the persons behind every helpful tutorial and post. Of course, because you only get to use the apps, but you don't really know who's behind it. I mean, who's the brain behind it. So it's a good opportunity for us to meet them.
All right. So someone says here, don't just pack for goods, build the systems.
Oh,
By Raymart Canuel. I think this is an answer for your
Yeah.
question, how can you help?
So guys, tweet us. How can you help as an application developer, as a mobile developer? How can you help the community? And what are your ideas? Tweet us what are your ideas to make a better customer experience.
All right, so without any further ado, we would like to continue with our next speaker. So our next speaker has a bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and is currently the user experience engineer of sulit.com.ph. You're familiar with that,
I-post
right?
na yan.
Oo. When
Benta
not
na yan.
stalking to people, so medyo may pagka-stalker pala to. When not stalking to people in theater houses and doing user research, he spends time traveling around Asia on a backpack with a shoes diving budget.
Wow, I'd like to try that experience though.
Yes. All right. So Dan.
Yes, please welcome the user experience engineer at sulit.com.ph talking about the essentials in mobile user experience. Please welcome Mr. Micael Andre Diaz de Rivera.
Round of applause, please.
So dim the lights. Hello. So wala akong nakikita, hindi ko I can't see the people right here. So I don't know if you guys are already sleeping or whatever. But the first thing that I thought of when Haifa told me that, Mika, you're gonna be moved to the afternoon session after lunch. Oh gosh, the dreaded time slot after lunch. So this is very problematic for me, but I hope that you guys would be able to listen to me and find my talk very interesting. This is going to be a soft talk, meaning it's different from the ones that you would be hearing after me. They will be talking about development and etc. I will be talking about user experience, especially on the mobile side. So, how do I begin? When DevCon approached me and told me that, Mika, could you speak for us this DevCon Summit? Sabi ko, that is awesome. You guys want me to talk about girls? Okay. So, yeah, I am notorious for talking about girls, and most especially about my inability to get girls. So, let's start. So my talk is called Essential in Mobile User Experience. I'm not sure, hindi ko alam kung kita nyo, is learnings from girlfriend hunting around Asia. So, to make it interesting, I'm going to talk about usability plus my problems with ladies. So this is the Great Wall of China. Next slide, please. So I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm not sure if you can see the arrows. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a very, very important thing for us all. Na I was in the bathroom kanina, comfort room, and this specific thing, favorite to ng mga guys especially. Pinag-uusapan to sa comfort room and tipong, wow, I saw your blank. She, so hot, sexy. Tapos, how, every night, I'm sure katabi mo matulog yan, naiinggit ako. Matagal na ba sa yung cellphone, or is your cell phone already old with you? Na tipong nag-iinit na ba yan? So, I think obvious naman kung ano yung pinag-uusapan natin dito sa picture na to. So, next slide please. I'm gonna talk about mobile devices, not girls. So, since this is the Mobile Dev Summit, I'm gonna talk to you guys about mobile phones. Since wala akong makita, I was supposed to upstage Dan kanina sa selfie niya. I wanted to take a picture of you guys doing like this. Pero if I do that, we won't be able to see anything. Next slide, please. So, when I entered the cinema, the first thing I thought of was, shit, ang laki ng screen. May picture ako sa sarili ko. So, the first thing I did was, thank you, I blocked off my eyes. So, it won't be that embarrassing. So, my name is Mika. I'm a user experience engineer for sulit.com.ph. I started at the website. It's the largest classified as website, or the largest website in the country in 2010 as a developer. But as years progressed, I was able to migrate from development to user experience. So gagalaw lang ako so you can see it. I have friends here from UPLB, from University of the Philippines, Los Baños. If you guys hear shrieks mamaya na parang, woo, go Mika, binayaran ko yun. So, thank you! So, for them, I am not known as a user experience engineer. For them, back in my college days, I'm super meek. I'm the poster child of introversion. But I was really good at stalking people. I was a really good researcher. And people actually know me as the relationship and love guru. If your friends tell you that you're a relationship or love guru, it just means one thing. You're single since birth. It's a big problem. Next slide. So why mobile? Why bother with user experience and why now? So first things first, mobile, feeling natin it's a niche topic. Second thing, user experience. I don't know what that is and why now. So my parents, when I told them na, Mommy, Daddy, wala pa rin akong girlfriend, pero I'm switching careers from being being a back-end developer to a user experience engineer. So what's that? Basically, it just means that I stalk people online or be very good at it. So what are you doing? You know, there's no career for you, pero it's big. And mobile is big. Next slide, please. I see this often, lalo na sa mga mobile conferences. I was at the Mobile Festival a few days ago, and they were able to show this picture. This is the Vatican City, St. Petersburg, Vatican City, St. Peter's Square, election of Pope Benedict XVI. See, I'm not sure if you guys can see that phone. Merong isang gumagamit ng flip phone. So, 2005, flip phone, a few cameras there. Move forward 5 years, 2013, Vatican City, St. Peter's Square, election of St. Francis. Where's the flip phone? Ooh, smartphones everywhere. It's big, it's huge. Everyone has them. Next slide. So this is my talk outline. This is gonna be very quick, hopefully. I'm gonna talk about understanding the mobile context to aid user experience with some myth busting. Usability testing and analytics with mobile devices, that's because that's what I do. And my talk goals is get you into thinking about mobile context and inspire you to gather more data to better serve your users without boring you guys to death after lunch. Wow, change nyo ba yung slides ko? Because I remember writing there before lunch. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. First things first. Let's go back to girlfriend hunting and mobile. There's this myth. It says, mobile users are always on the go, or we use our phones on the go. So this picture was taken by me in Vietnam a few weeks ago, speeding on a moto taxi while taking pictures and sharing it to Facebook. So it's Vietnam. I'm not sure if you've seen the pictures. If you search for Vietnam traffic in Google, what you will see is 1,000 motorcycles and 10 cars. Ganun ka-wild yung traffic nila doon. Everyone's in a motorcycle. I've never ridden a motorcycle before. I haven't really tried cycling sa bike, but I thought that would be an awesome experience to tell my kids in the future. And I have a mobile phone. Mobile phone is on the go. I'm gonna use it. So while I was riding this motorcycle, I had this phone. I was taking pictures, mobile on the go. That is fantastic. And I realized, next slide, no one really does that, man. That's very dangerous. So you don't see people doing taking pictures of their wild motorcycle backpacking ride around Vietnam or whatever. Because fact of the matter is, next slide please, this is data from ourmobileplanet.com. I suggest you check it out. Ulitin ko lang, ourmobileplanet.com and google.com/think. They have tons of data about usage. Sinasabi dito, in home, 60% use their mobile devices. 40% lang outside. In the 40%, kasama na dun yung office. So, yung on the go, it's very small compared to how we actually use it at home. So what does this mean? What does this entail for user experience in the mobile? It means that when we're thinking about our products or when we're thinking about mobile design, it's important that we know how people are using their mobile devices, may it be smartphone, tablet, or PC or laptop. It's important to know because if you don't know when people are using their phones here in the Philippines, where they are using it, quick matter of fact, a lot of Filipinos are using their mobile phones in bed and in the evening. I don't know. Think about an app na pwedeng gamitin ng mga Pinoy sa gabi tsaka sa kama. Fantastic. Next slide, please. So what does that mean? Ibig sabihin ba niyan, Mika, we shouldn't think about developing apps na would work on the go? That's not true. That's a bad idea. So yes, people are not always on the go, but it's important to understand how people use phones on the go. So I was in the MRT a few months ago, and they were using our Sulit app, sulit.com.ph app. Afternoon siya, and the guy was doing like this. I don't know why. Sabi ko, sobrang labo naman ng mata ng guy na to for doing this on their phone. So what was happening? The guy was running low on battery, and he turned the backlight off. Syempre, to save battery. So he was under the sun sa MRT, and he couldn't see almost anything. The problem was the app and the website's contrasts. So things like that, small details on how people use it. Pag nalaman nyo, you'd make better usable products. Next slide. So, the next myth. Is mobile data usage prevalent and everywhere like magic carps in the sea? Before I started developing, I was doing Pokemon. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the Pokemon Philippines, but I was big here. And I was very active on it. So, may idea tayo, when you think of Magikarps, it's everywhere, lalo na sa Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. But is mobile data really that prevalent here in the Philippines, or do people actually use it? So, next slide. Sinabi to ni Narciso Reyes dun sa Mobile Festival a few days ago from Google Philippines, 97% of Filipinos access the internet through Wi-Fi. Only 3% on mobile data. Crazy. So, you can see na 97%, saan makukuha yung Wi-Fi? Most likely, not on the go. 3% lang ang gumagamit ng mobile data. So what does this entail for us? When designing mobile products, we should remember na, yes, it's okay to have big files, but syempre, palitin na natin ng konti, but it's okay. People are using Wi-Fi. Don't worry about it. And Magikarp is relatively rare in Pokemon X and Y, so may connect. Next slide, please. A very important thing on user experience, since time immemorial, lagi sinasabi to, speak the user's language and empathize. So, when we're creating our apps, we should understand who our clients are, who our users are, and who our potential users will be. Because if you don't speak their language, if you don't understand how they talk, how their culture is working, it's going to be very difficult for your app to actually work and be usable. This was taken in the streets of Beijing. So nagbabike ako doon sa Forbidden City. Piso sale lang to. And I was looking for girlfriend hunting in Beijing. I was lost. I couldn't understand the map. It was in Chinese. And I thought, China, I can do this. So I approached a girl who was pretty and who I thought knew what she was talking about. Few seconds later, ang dami nang dumagsa sa akin. People were talking, doon. No one could understand me. I couldn't understand them. I was lost in translation. It's like, parang, when you're developing apps, ganun rin yun. If you don't understand, you speak the language, difficult. Next slide, please. Early registrations must die. This is a very big problem for me, lalo na for apps or websites na are not really that popular. You can get away with early registrations if you're Facebook or whatever, because people actually know how to use it and people know the worth of the product. But if you're not, it's gonna be irritating to be asked for your email, for your cell phone number, tas hindi mo pa nakikita yung value on it. So, may tagline ng sulit.com.ph, and it is, hanap, usap, deal. Or in English, look for it, talk about it, and make the deal. Imagine if sulit.com.ph was not like that. Imagine if we had early registrations on the website. It's gonna be register, hanap, usap, deal. That sucks, di ba? Maghahanap ka lang ng, for example, second-hand na Jollibee cheeseburger. You can actually search for it. Try it out. Meron. Second-hand Jollibee cheeseburger, may konting kagat, fresh pa. Fantastic. Meron sa sulit. And kung gusto mo lang malaman yung small fact na yun, gusto mo lang kumain ng second-hand Jollibee cheeseburger, please. Tapos mag-register ka ba? That's horrible. That's horrible experience. So when we were, that is how our post and ad worked a few years ago. So before you can actually post an ad, you have to register. Yun yung unang ginagawa ng app or yung mobile website or yung site. We will show you a registration page after you click post a free ad. We had problems with that. People were leaving because of that. So what we did, when you click post a free ad, you would be given the post a free ad form. In the mobile app, in the mobile website, in the website. What happens is, after you filled it up, dun ka lang tatanungin. So you actually had commitment na. So you filled it up and you're ready to post. Dun lang namin ikaw tatanungin. What is your email address? This is, balik tayo sa girls in mobile, this is the legendary marriage market in Shanghai. So I went to Shanghai to look for the one, sinasabi nila. And yung marriage market in Shanghai was very similar to Hanap Usap Deal. There were tons of ads dun sa major park nila. And you would have to talk to strangers or their parents. Parents were selling their kids who are too busy to have them be engaged. So I went there, naghanap ako ng mga parents. Nakasulat dun yung picture. Picture, age, height, weight, waistline, how many houses you have, how many cars you have. And after you've finally done with it, you're going to have a deal. Problem is, hindi daw ako Chinese, so I failed it. Imagine if we had to register to get that experience. I wouldn't go there. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So typing in mobile usually sucks. Let us help our users as much as possible with filling in the form. If you have a site like sulit.com.ph that had tons of empty forms, and you wish to dominate mobile, if you're not helping users to type the forms, it's going to be very difficult. This is what we did. Parang case study to. This is what we did. Before, post a free ad was actually 3 separate pages or 3 separate screens in the app. So you had to go through 3 pages of forms to post an ad. What we did to alleviate the problem of typing on the mobile site, we made it to one form, very easy. Other fields are going to be optional if you're ready to actually put data on it. So, help users filling up a form. How do you do this? Pwedeng automatic filling, pwedeng automatic searches. For example, what we do is, if you type house and lot, automatic house and lot category. If you type lightsaber, for example, you're selling a lightsaber, automatic toys. So next slide. Follow the leader, follow the user, the overall UX. Your site app is part of the web ecosystem, and your site's app usability is dictated by the overall UX, which is dominated by the sum of all other sites, apps people use. So if you are a mobile developer and you are not using Facebook here in the Philippines, you are in trouble. Because usability, it will sound unfair, pero usability is heavily influenced by the whole experience of the web. So if your most popular app here in the country is Facebook, and if you're not following how they do things, if you're going to introduce a totally different experience on how to navigate your application, it's going to be difficult for users to use your app. So follow the leader, follow the overall UX. Next slide. Sinabi to ng previous speaker natin kanina, content is very, very important. I am a programmer, I am a front-end developer, I am a graphic designer, and this has nothing to do with me, Mika. stop talking about content strategy. This is UX and mobile. But it does. Content is very important. Users didn't go to your mobile site or app to look at your code or see how pretty your app, your icons are. Produce fantastic content and or make it easy for users to join in building good content. To girlfriend hunting. Wala akong nakitang girl sa South Korea na I thought was really fantastic. So I was searching my mobile app for something interesting to do in South Korea. I found this not so good looking website on the mobile phone, but their content strategy was so good that I was able to get myself into it and do the experience. That experience was going to, North Korea. Fantastic. Next slide. So, in Sulit, a few years ago, we had a very bad UX problem. The site wasn't working that well. So we were lucky to have partners in Google, and they called us. I was able to talk with them through Google Hangouts. They were folks from the Google UX team sa US. This is what they told me. Mika, if you want to learn about engagement, you should really try doing research in dating sites. Sakto. I was looking for a girl. I was looking for the one, and this is what they tell me. Go to a dating site to learn more about mobile UX, learn more about UX in general. This is an example of a very good experience I've had in mobile sites. This is the OkCupid app, where you would have, where the app doesn't actually asks you for your location, automatically niyang i-detect. So I was in Ugong Norte, and they would automatically detect the matches that would be perfect for you in the mobile site. So this was one of the girls that was presented to me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have other choices. So next slide. What you could actually do is do gestures on mobile phone. If you swipe left, it would erase her from your list of possible girlfriends forever. You swipe right, the OkCupid app would email that girl and say, Mika actually likes you. Well, the problem is, hindi pa siya masyadong prevalent before. Yung star and X, this was added later on. What happened was, I was swiping to the right every time. Swiping to the right every time. So I had 100 girls swipe right. After a few days, I had lots of emails saying, hey baby boy, or hey lover boy, I heard you like me. Oh gosh, that was bad. That was really bad. So a lot of friends of mine, they think that I'm parang lapitin ng girls, but the fact of the matter is, I just swiped right so much that people actually thought that I liked them. So another thing about UX and mobile is, next slide, add a little personality on your apps. So in your application, going from bad UX to usable, super easy, guys. Kahit wala akong degree on computer science or psychology, I can do UX if the task at hand is just moving the users from bad UX to usable. What's very difficult for us right now is moving from bad UX to usable to fantastic experience. This was a fantastic experience for me because natamaan ako kasi after swiping to the left tapos na. After swiping to the left a few minutes, I was shown this message. This is personality, amazing. Sabi, swiping is a lot of fun. Maybe it's time to be a little less selective, Mika. So leave me be, maybe I need to have a break. So add that in your UX on your mobile apps or your mobile websites. Next slide. But wait, there's more. I'm going to part 2 now. Usability questions seldom have a single answer. Rather, they are qualitative issues that specify the direction and nature of inevitable design trade-offs. This is quote by Jacob Nielsen. He's my idol. And Google actually had a talk with him, and you can find his books and his researches online. Very awesome on usability. Very awesome on user experience. What this actually means is there are actually no rules on UX. There's no rules on usability. everything is qualitative or everything is different for different apps. If you're creating games or mobile apps for grandmas, for example, normal big text, not small text. It depends. So how do we solve that problem? If I want to have a great UX for everyone, but Mika, there's no rules, what do I do? Next slide. We go into mobile usability testing and analytics. Dito pumapasok yung magaling ka mag-stock, magaling ka mag-user research. So I have a short video. I hope you get, the technical staff could help me with this. It's entitled Google Analytics, number 1. Could you guys show that to me? Yes. Sounds. Oops. Sounds.
Hey, just that, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
Username?
Oh, Nick M.
No.
NM 1983.
No.
Zandy Pops.
Sorry.
Zandy Pops.
No, okay. Don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever. Please listen carefully to this bread license agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based products for any purposes prohibited by United Kingdom law, including without limitation, design, development, manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear, or biological weapons.
Tick.
I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Just one loaf, sir.
Yeah, we just.
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
That's not even a word.
Okay, how about this one?
You know what? Forget it.
Or this one?
Hippo Potter Nice.
You're in.
Great. I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
Plus express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's, standard.
Standard.
Standard delivery, that's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what? I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, OK. You want the take-home today price? Well, that's £3.27.
You know what? I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
So that is the video of Google Analytics. So going back to my talk, it's more on usability testing and analytics. I'm not sure if it's very popular in the development scene here in the country, but I don't hear a lot of people installing analytics in their apps to know how people actually use them. So for us, especially in Sulit, we measure almost everything. Because if we measure everything, if we don't measure anything, we can't improve. If we measure, we might be able to improve. Next slide. So what does this small line of code for your app or for your mobile site do for you? This is not from Sulit, but this is what you would see if you have Google Analytics in your mobile website. Number of new users, number of active users, from where they're coming, and their top device models. So if you're developing an app, and after the first release, you don't know why it's not working, maybe you're not aware dun sa ginagamit na phone ng users niyo. Maybe this is very high-end. Galaxy Nexus ang gamit niya dun sa website. But for the Philippines, I can tell you na not a lot of people are using the very popular or the high-end devices. Maraming nag-China phone, for example. So if you don't know that, maybe you won't be able to tailor fit your user experience. Next slide. Another one. With that simple line of code in your mobile website, you would be able to get the average session per duration or screens per session if it's an app. And you would be able to follow the user's path on the website. So you know, or website or web app, whatever, you can actually see this. So you would be able to know if they're actually logging in first, then they're playing the game or whatever. If you have this simple line of code, search for it, Google Analytics for the app, for Android, for iOS. It's for free, it's easy to install. You have this. Next slide. Google Analytics launched this new thing called analytics with demographics. This is data you can actually get if you install it on your mobile website. This is crazy. Noong una kong siya nakita, parang what? We would be able to understand yung male-female differences ng mga mobile websites, ng mga mobile users natin without asking them about it. You would be able to get their ages. How does Google do that? Diba? Next slide. What's more creepy is if you install this code, you could actually know their affinity category. So you'd be able to know that 6.31% are technophiles, 6.27 are music lovers. This is not from Sulit, but this is what you can get if you install it on your mobile website. Next slide, please. So I'm going to talk to you guys about qualitative user research and usability testing. This is what you do if you don't have time to install the code, or if you don't like quantitative data. This is what you do if you want qualitative data. So what I do is, I have this awesome team of developers and of designers. What we do is, may idea yung mga designers namin. They would be able to code a prototype of it. I would be able to bring it on me sa mga talks ko, for example, mag-date ako, whatever. I would be bringing out the phone and say, could you test this out for me? This is a new prototype for our website. After testing it out, after looking at their feedback, automatically, if I find something wrong about it, text the designer. Contrast is bad. Change the contrast. People don't understand the user flow. Change the user flow, please. After a few minutes, they would be able to give me the new prototype. Test again, and again, and again. User feedback is very important. So for my last video for this talk, I want to show you guys this video about Nordstrom. They were able to create this awesome process that we're trying to duplicate about how it's about really, really quick mobile development on the iPad based on user feedback. So play the video, please.
I'm JB Brown, the Nordstrom Innovation Lab Manager, and this is the lab. We work on 1-week experiments. Somebody will have an idea and we'll find a way to figure out how to prove if the idea is going to work. And this week, the Innovation Lab is going to be building an iPad app with customer feedback as we go through the week. We wanted to work in the store to make sure that we were getting customer feedback as we worked, so that we were never working on anything that wasn't valued by the customer and only doing things that are delivering value. So we'll be building a feature and testing it until we get to the point where we have something that's good enough that we can just leave the iPad app behind and have this new thing that customers can use. This is the world's first Flash build. It's a flash mob where a software team shows up and builds an application in a surprise location. This is the Nordstrom Innovation Lab, and we're at the flagship store in downtown Seattle. Right now the team is just setting up their equipment to get started. We're going to build an iPad app that helps customers pick the best pair of sunglasses for them. We really don't know what the features are yet. We're going to use customer feedback as we go along throughout the day and the rest of the week in order to build the best thing.
So the next thing we're going to do is a user story map. So we're going to sit here and together outline all the steps the customer would take, and actually even beforehand how they buy sunglasses, like what are the different things that they might do and how that process might change if we have this application. And we'll actually dig into what we have to build in order to support that process.
So now that we've done a card mapping, we're going to do a paper prototype. And this is something that we commonly do in the Innovation Lab. It's a great way to show what we'd like to do in a rough prototype that we can easily throw out, change, alter, based on feedback from the customers. I'll continue building individual paper slides, and our user experience specialist, Tel, will bring the prototype to a customer and say, okay, I have this app, and this is a paper version. I'd like you to kind of use it like you would normally use an app, and you can press things, interact with them, and then she'll change out the pages based on how the customer uses it. So it's a similar experience to the iPad, only an analog version.
So it's day 2, and we have our first working prototype of this app. And how it works is I take my first pair of sunglasses, put it on, take a picture, all right, and then I want to compare it to this other pair I've got right here. put these on. Take another picture. I can just hold these up like this and see which one I like better.
While Tel and Kim have been talking to people and doing paper prototypes, we've been coding, building an iPad app. We take a stab at something, we look at the paper prototypes that Kim put together. We might take one at a time. Usually we come to the board and we grab the most important feature and we start implementing it. The really cool thing with this flash build is that we have actual real customers. Just today we delivered 4 or 5 different separate features, and I deliver it, swap the iPad with Tel. She'd go and talk to a customer, and 10 minutes later I had feedback from real customers about this thing that I delivered, and it changed how we did the next thing.
And it's been really, really great watching day to day what they've been doing, the team, to get all the feedback from the salespeople, the feedback the salespeople have gathered from the customers. And it's a really interesting process to kind of come in. On Tuesday, we had no idea what this would look like. There was an idea that somebody had to say, people take a lot of pictures of themselves with the sunglasses. It'd be cool if we could show them side by side to help them make the process better. And that was the idea, that was it. They came in, they had nothing built, and they've been building this literally on the spot throughout each day. And by now, we actually have an app, a functioning app that they can go through. It's very intuitive to help look at themselves and make the sunglass selection process easier, which is pretty cool to watch.
So yesterday, the sunglass buyer for Nordstrom came down to check out our progress, and she happened to put on polarized glasses and then held up the iPad in portrait view and was surprised that she couldn't see anything because it was black. And we figured out that the polarization of the iPad running up and down and the polarization of the glasses running vertical cancel each other out. You don't see anything. But if you turn the iPad to landscape, you see perfectly fine because the polarization of the 2 items line up, and it's okay. So it was a pretty good find to be in the store, and she just happened to put on polarized glasses. And so today, first thing we're going to do is switch it to a landscape design and then lock in the aspect ratio of the iPad so customers and salespeople just naturally pick it up and use it in landscape and not try and go to portrait.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what we've been working on the last 5 days. We've added quite a few features over the week. You take a picture, multiple pictures of the customer, and then you can hold them up. You tap the first one, you can see it larger, and then tap the second, and do a side-by-side comparison of each glass next to each other. We also added a feature where you can rename the picture, because we heard from salespeople, if a customer's trying on quite a lot of glasses, it's helpful to be able to know what order they were taken in, and also rename if you want with the brand or some distinguishing feature about the glass. Another feature we added was the ability to zoom. You can zoom in and really get a good detailed look at the frames side by side. Also, to see one of the pictures larger if you want to just better view of one frame. You can flip the camera view as well. Face it forward so the salesperson can take a picture of it like this, or you can flip the camera like so. Take a picture of yourself facing forward. And then at the end of it all, we have a button called New Customer, which just erases all of the images and allows the salesperson to start with a new customer.
We're just trying to put the final touches on the app. Tel talked to a lot of users, and they said that when we went into the compare view, it was unclear where the pictures were coming from and which picture was which. So the animation here is trying to solve that problem, make it a little more clear what's going on. One of the challenges with software is when you're done, right? And I think the answer is really, it depends on how much time you have. At least the most important things got done. So this was time boxed to a week, and we did a week's worth of work, and it seems like what we have now is something that makes customers happy and addresses the main problems, and something that we can track, we have metrics on. So I think we're gonna call that a day.
The application has developed so far. Everything's finished, everything that we've asked for, and even the little roadblocks and glitches that we kind of stumbled across as we use the app during the week has been solved. I think that it's going to be really easy to be able to implement into our sale, and I think that we're going to find a lot of success with the application, whether it's via a selling tool for us or if it goes public into a downloadable format. Whatever happens, I think this was generally quite a success.
So that is an awesome way to develop apps. So this is my final slide actually. So I'm just gonna finalize this talk about girls and usability and mobile. First things first, there are small rules when dealing with usability or user experience. As I was able to discuss a few moments ago, there are a few rules, quote unquote, when you're designing, when you're developing. But at the end of the day, user experience for the web, for your app, or for the mobile phone or mobile website is about users. So user experience nga eh. So to be able to achieve that special user experience magic, for your specific for your specific phones, app phones, for specific mobile websites, it's important to test or to validate our ideas if it actually works. If you guys can understand that, na may certain rules for UX, quote-unquote rules, guidelines, but majority of the task on making a great user experience for everything you do is to talk with the people. So, sinasabi ko kanina, I'm introvert. I'm shaking right now. I don't know what I'm doing in front of you guys. But as a user experience engineer, I have to be able to stand in front of you guys, talk to strangers, go out backpacking, and sleep on sa mga bahay ng mga iba't ibang strangers. It's because you have to experience life as it is, experience the world as it is, to be able to develop for people who we want to develop for. So, next slide. Thank you very much for listening. You can catch me at Mikael. If you have girlfriends na single, fb.com/Mikael. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mika. Okay, so that.
Please do stay with us here for a
So, may request
couple of
again,
minutes
Mr. Mika,
for
to
the
please be
questions.
with us. Okay, so for the meantime, guys, don't forget once again to use the hashtag MobileDevAndBeyond. So, Dan, what do you have here?
Right. So ano ulit yung hashtag?
Mobile Dev and Beyond. So use that tingnan mo. Use that hashtag. So
All right. So do we have any questions from the audience?
questions for Mr. Mika? Okay, we got here.
Ay, Kuya Mika. Lagi ko tong nalilimutan
Hello.
yung tanong sa'yo actually. So is there a general, sorry, masakit sa mata. Is there a general approach towards, user experience and usability? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to replicate kung ano man yung mga experiments or kung ano man yung mga approaches, like talking to users, if we're trying to launch an app. But generally, because we're just, a small bunch of developers and we really don't have enough experience with regards to usability and user experience, what are the general approaches when it comes to, we want to launch an app and then we want to know what the user's feedback is, what are besides from analytics that we developers usually use?
Yes, good to know.
Yeah. What are the other, starting grounds para malaman namin kung tama ba yung ginagawa namin in terms of usability or in terms of user experience?
Okay, first things first. Kung may single kang friends, add mo ako sa Facebook, I will help you with everything you know. With everything I know. Second, to be more serious about it, there's this program called Design Thinking. It was launched in Stanford by two brothers. I highly recommend their process. Go search for it online. Search nyo lang Design Thinking, tapos may space, tas stanford.edu. It shows you how to actually think about your products more and how you could integrate interviewing users or going out there and getting their feedback. A few weeks ago, may nag-talk sa Lasal about design thinking, and I thought I was really an expert when it comes to this, but for one single day, the whole class was able to talk to 100 students sa Lasal. Parang, what did I just do? So, kung medyo mahihain kang tao, go to these design thinking workshops. It might be able to help you design better products for your clients or for your users. Thanks.
All right. So do we have another questions?
So add him on Facebook and he will teach you everything he knows, including how to court a girl.
Okay, so
I don't know how to court a girl. You have to tell me about that.
We'll go upstairs. Someone's trying to ask some question here. So, sir, where are you?
Run, Forrest,
Hello?
run.
Who raised his hand a while ago? Okay, so, sir, please come here.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. I'm
Hi.
AJ from FEU.
Hi.
It's not more on questions, but suggestions.
Okay.
Can you suggest of a way on how can users of Sulit can prevent scam from those people who want to take advantage of the system?
Okay. This is about Sulit. So, after tons of feedback from people na, Ika, medyo maraming nagsascam. The problem with that is, anyone can post anything from Sulit. I told you guys, there was an ad that sold second-hand cheeseburger, favorite app. There are people selling EPs or cockroaches in Sulit for their pets. Valid ads. But what we're doing right now is to actually lower that number of scams by pre-moderation. So every time you post an ad in Sulit, meron ng team kami, we increased our workforce. Almost 24 hours na yung service ng Sulit. So when you're posting, someone actually checking your ads. Simple scan lang. Usually ang scams kasi it happens when users don't want to meet up with you. If users don't want to meet up with you and they're asking you to pay first, most likely it's a scam. So be very careful about it. Very basic stuff na tinitingnan lang namin. And if it's too good to be true, maybe it's not true. Simple lang yan. If it's too good to be true, baka hindi siya totoo. So basic stuff. So you have to meet up. Important yung meet up. Check kung if it's too good to be true. Call them. Never send your payment first. And yeah, yun lang.
Thank you.
Ako din may question. So regarding Sulit, we also post that we're looking for a girlfriend or something?
I think you can. The Easter egg sa Sulit. Go on sulit.com.ph, search girlfriend dun sa ano hanap mo bar. Something will pop up. Search boyfriend dun sa ano hanap mo. Something will pop up. Finally, search nyo, di ba tinanong sa inyo, in Tagalog, ano hanap mo? I-type nyo away. You can search, type mo away or pwede mo i-type gulo. May lalabas na spaceship sa Sulit. I swear, meron. Tapos pwede mo sirain yung page. Secret. Check it out. Away o gulo.
Right, so tweet us. Ano hanap nyo, guys? Or post a Sulit ad and we'll check it later siguro. So we have one last question, Joey. Where are you?
Actually, many would like to ask a question, so go.
Hello. Hi, Mika. I just like to add on the question of the guy earlier.
Okay.
Once you know that it's a scam, do you automatically take it out?
Yes. Kung nakita na namin na scam, we take it out.
And what if you take out one that is not a scam but just looks like a scam?
If we take out something that's not a scam, but
Won't that like parang disincentive some people using Sulit? How do you now control that disincentive na factor?
Well,
parang
sige.
go ahead. Sorry.
Hindi, yun nga. If it's not a scam, tapos we take it off, you can call us. May hotline kami. You could bring it up back. Back up. So if this has happened to you, it's my problem. User experience problem. Yun. We have to deal with that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so this one's for you, sir. So we would, sir, excuse me, sir. Do you want this shirt? All right. Okay, so...
It seems na marami tayong Sulit users
yes, actually,
here, no?
Dan, there are many people who would like to ask some questions, but we don't have enough time. So we would like to proceed with our pack of appreciation. Do we have?
Yup. We call on Haifa or Terrence.
Yes.
If you have more questions, please do tweet
Okay.
using the hashtag.
And if you want to add Sir Mika, you can add him up. And if you can refer someone to be his... Dan, may question ka, di ba, kay Sir Mika? Anong
Oo
question
nga
mo?
pala. So how was your adventure in looking for the love of your life?
Wait, may girlfriend na ba or wala pa talaga since birth?
Single since birth.
Wow!
Looking for a girlfriend around the world. Yun yung peg eh. Wala. It's difficult. Even if, kasi piso sale ako, tapos I go around houses of girls na pwede bang tumira sa inyo? For example, I'm going to Korea next week and I was able to get someone from couchsurfing.org to stay at their house for free.
Mhm.
And wala talaga nangyayari. Kasi I don't know.
Ano bang
it's very
standards na
difficult.
hinahanap ni sir? Ba't wala? Ano bang standards?
Hanap-usap lang daw eh. Hindi umabot sa deal eh, unfortunately.
Baka may requirements ka, sir? Do you have any
Feeling ko yung
requirements?
girls yung mapili eh. So, yun.
Ah.
Hindi naman siya pihikan, mga Ann Curtis level lang.
Ann Curtis lang naman. Pwede
Medyo
din,
choosy
pwede.
is.
Okay, Haifa.
Or Terrence,
Alright,
can you
okay.
call on Terrence?
Okay, Terrence.
All right. Okay. So this is a DevCon Summit 2013 awards this certificate of appreciation to Miguel Andre Diaz de Rivera. Am I right? Okay.
Slash
Right.
single.
Slash single. In gratitude and appreciation of your generous contribution as speaker for DevCon Summit 2013. Hashtag Mobile Dev and Beyond on the topic Essentials in Mobile User Experience. Right. Maaba pa to. All right. This is good.
Thank you very much.
If you want more, just check my swagger out there on the dance floor. Yeah, all the
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Mika.
Right, so our sponsors are very generous today, Joey. So, what is the hashtag? Again, we will use Mobile Dev and Beyond.
So again, guys, what is the hashtag?
Paulit-ulit?
Hindi.
Ulit-ulit?
Para i-promote, di ba? Ayan, so...
Nabibingin na sila. They keep on saying, ano ba yan?
Pero I've
Paulit-ulit.
seen many are already tweeting na sa ating Twitter. And Instagram, don't forget to post your selfie.
Yep.
Baka malay mo makita yun ni Sir Mika and mapansin niya yung mga mukha niya, di ba?
Yep.
And aside from that, please do gain more friends, converse with each other, and ayun, para madaming friends and connections.
Connections.
Kidding.
Earlier today, some of you visited the booth of Firefox and registered to their booth, and then they used the raffle hat app to choose the winners of their prizes. So we have here the names from Firefox. So can we call on the representative from Firefox to award their invisibility cloak t-shirt?
Okay. Also, don't forget to please place your cards here. Yes.
All right, so I will call on Joel Iya of Blue Lemons.
Yay! We're so well. Okay, our next person is Miss Michelle Louise Bosque from UP Diliman. Where are you?
We also have Donna Liza Cabayaran of Frontier Gadget Incorporated. Come up on stage. You only have 5 seconds to claim your prizes.
5, 4, 3.
And last
but not the least, we have Miss Christine Bautista from UP Los Baños.
All right, so come up on stage, guys. We're also looking for Pat Gavino of Voyager. Please proceed to or look for Rash at the technical area. Thank you.
All right.
So this is your last chance to drop your entries for the raffle. So if you have completed your stamp card, please do place there here inside the box here at the white table. And if you can see our major prizes here, you surely don't want to miss it. So you only have a few minutes left until we close the booth.
Yes, pwede bang sumali dyan, Dan? I want the prize. We only knew, guys. Sobrang ganda ng prize later on.
Please be sure to write your full name, otherwise it will be void. Kasi may mga iba, they only write John, Louis,
Kaya nga.
Mark. Like everyone here, maraming Mark or John or Louis. And we also have additional shirts from Power Mac. So we'd like to thank Power Mac for their generosity and giving sponsoring our major prizes. So a few minutes left, guys. While we are waiting, Joey, what about you read us some tweets so that they can win t-shirts?
Hindi ko dala phone ko. Sige, Dan, go. Read some tweets. What do we have there? Sponsor na daw ng phone para phone na lang daw gamit. So guys, please tweet to win more prizes, right, Dan?
Yes, right.
Yes.
So wala na bang maglalagay ng stamp cards? Well, to give you a preview of what we are giving for our raffle, we have a Western Digital My Passport Essential 500 GB Black, and on second prize we have an Apple TV.
Wow!
Yes.
Pwede bang sumali?
And then our major prize we have an Apple iPod Mini Wi-Fi 16 GB Black.
Bongga!
So you just went to the booth and then you're winning big prizes. How cooler can that be? Just
Yeah.
keep on tweeting pala, guys. Keep on tweeting. It's not loading.
Alright, so anyway, we would like to thank again the following sponsors, which co-presented by the following: GitHub,
Globe,
Smart,
Orange, and Bronze.
For our gold sponsors, we have Deltec.
Firefox.
For our silver sponsors, we have Microsoft,
Fast Track IT Academy.
Accenture.
Power Mac Center.
For our tech and media partner, we have Stack Overflow,
Speed Magazine.
Philippine Web Designers Organization,
Drupal Pilipinas.
When in Manila,
TechTalks.com.
WebKick,
BlackBerry.
Active Show,
And GMA News Online.
Okay, so do you have your tweets there already, Dan?
Do you... Oh, we're gonna announce the winner for now. So we're giving away a winner for the Western Digital My Passport Essential 500 GB. Right? So can we have the... And may we request a representative from Power Mac to join us here and choose our winner. So, we only have 10 seconds left to put in your entries. So let's count. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
3, 2
2
and a half, 2 and 1/4, 2.007. Oh, nadapa pa. That's your lucky charm, bro. Malay mo, diba? Alright, so...
Ayun na, wait.
We have an Apple TV, an iPad Mini, and a Western Digital My Passport Essential 500 GB Black.
Okay. So let's start with the t-shirt.
T-shirts from Power Mac. Let's start
Okay.
with a t-shirt. 2 t-shirts from Power Mac.
Okay, so 2 t-shirt and 1, what do we have here?
My Passport.
External.
So thank you, Power Mac Center Authorized Training Center. All right. Thank you very much, our generous sponsor.
So we have here a medium shirt. Okay, so the first lucky person to have this shirt is
Joey,
no other than...
Di ba dapat may kumikembot-kembot dito?
Kasi kumembot ka na, ate. Kumembot ka na.
So our lucky winner with a yellow stab. Stop. Sorry.
So our winner is Miss Mylene King.
So Mylene King, please claim your Power Max shirt.
Yay! Get your shirt
Mylene.
here, Miss Mylene.
And our next award.
Our next lucky winner is ding, ding, ding. Kembot, Ate Kembot.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is right. Joel Aya.
Joel Aya.
Joel.
Please come here.
Claim your shirt here on front.
And for the lucky person who have this My Passport external portable hard drive with 500 gigabyte.
Yes.
Okay. Shake that booty. Shake the booty. Okay, so ding, ding, ding.
May kasama ng movies yung passport.
So the winner is Mr. JC Legaspi.
JC, please come up on stage to claim your prize. JC,
Please come up to your
JC.
stage.
Where's JC? Here. So, right, JC, please join us on stage. Are
Here.
you here? Oh, here's JC.
Picture daw. Yay! 500 gigabyte! Saan yung picture natin? Ayan.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. So later on, we will call you for our next raffle draw. And for the meantime, we're going to proceed with our next speaker to talk us about the trends in iOS development by no other than a person who graduated from the Ateneo de Manila University and worked for 6 years as an information technology manager at a local manufacturing company, as well as business development manager at a local IT company before co-founding the RogoMe.
Yes, he's very passionate, and his love for the iOS platform began when he bought his first iPod Touch in 2008. He became a self-taught iOS developer soon after. He released his first iOS app on the Apple App Store in May 2009, and since then has developed numerous apps and has given countless mobile development talks and basic iOS development seminars in various universities and corporate-sponsored events nationwide.
Also in August 2013, he was chosen by the Nokia as one of the 10 global developers to join the Nokia Imaging SDK team in Lund, Sweden, to participate in the exclusive Future or Capture hackathon. So,
Yep, so you better be ready with your questions because it's a very good time to ask, especially if you're an iOS developer, to ask our speaker, who is the CEO and president of RogoMe Incorporated, and he will talk about the trends in iOS development. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Ramon Pastor.